Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Cassie from Ground Up Fitness, and today we are going to be doing a glute and hamstring workout. If you've not worked out with me before, I will have all of our rest periods incorporated into the workout. Our warm up and cool down will also be incorporated into the workout. If you feel any pain at all during the routine, stop and try to do the move a little bit slower. Pay attention to the technique, and if that still is painful, just move on to the next exercise you can do without any pain. It's not worth it to hurt yourself. What else? Going slow, technique over weight, and lifting with our muscles, not with our egos. So those are things that are important for me as a trainer and for you as someone who's training with me. So pay attention to your body, go slow, and control every movement. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and we're going to get started. Since this routine is for glutes and hamstrings, we're only going to warm up legs. If you want to warm up past what I guide us through, feel free to pause the video, do what you need to do. But these mobility moves that I'm going to walk us through should be enough to find your range of motion, enough to not injure yourself in the routine. So find something that you can hold on to. I'm going to use this wall here, and we are going to extend our leg up the top of your range of motion for your hip. My torso is really still, and I'm opening up with both of my knees soft. I'm not hyperextending either leg. And we're going to do 10 of these. 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. Do the other side. Lean into the wall so that your torso is not involved in the motion at all. It's all hips to the top of your range of motion and closed. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're going to swing forward and backward and find our range of motion in our hip in this range of motion. So we're going to go forward. I'm keeping my foot flexed towards me, and then back, squeezing up my glute. Like we did with the last move, I'm not incorporating my torso at all. 5, 6, stretching my hamstring, hip flexor, hamstring, hip flexor. 9 and 10. Other side. 3, 4, hamstring, hip, hamstring, hip. Staying really still in my torso. 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're going to do a little bit of squat mobility. So we are going to have our hands up over our head as far as you can extend. You're going to go down into your squat, bend over, hands come to the floor, straighten your legs, booty comes up. If your hands come off the floor, that's okay. And then you're going to do the like yoga roll up kind of thing. Head and neck last. Hands up, squat, hands to the floor, booty up, and slowly come on up. Show you from the side. Hands up, squat, hands to the floor, and up. We're going to do 3 more of these. Hands straight up, breathe in, squat, hands to the floor, breathe out, breathe in again, and up. 2 more. Hands up, squat, push your knees out in your squat, hands to the floor, push up. 1 more. Squat, hands to the floor, up, and up. If you are wearing shoes that have a big heel on them, it's better to change your shoes or take your shoes off altogether. We want to have our feet flat on the floor for this, and we don't want to be fighting with the balance of your shoe. So these shoes are flat. You can wear like Converse or Vans, or you can just take your shoes off. All right, let's get started. We are going to get started with step downs. We're only going to use 1 dumbbell. And I've got my bench or whatever surface you're going to step up on. It can be a chair, but just something that's stable, something set up in front of the support of a wall or a couch or a squat rack or something that you can put your weight into. So I am going to come up onto my step. It could be a bench, like I said, a chair, a box. I'm going to lean in with the same side hand that I'm working. My left leg is working here, so I'm going to lean my left hand into the wall. And then my free leg is the side that I'm holding the weight. I tap the floor, keeping my knee over my heel, and the weight is situated at heel height, right? So I'm leaned over so that my ribs are close to my quads, and all my weight is in my heel here. Stability through the wall or your squat rack or whatever it is. Hi, Kingsley. And you're going to go down slow with control, keeping all your weight in the working leg, and then push up through that working leg. So let's go ahead and start counting. We're going to do 8 on each side. Back slow. Big stretch through your glute here, and contraction through your glute at the top. The goal is to not push up off that back foot. The strength comes from the leg that's on the bench. I'm using 25 pounds, but use what's challenging for you. 6, 2 more. Hinge backwards. Push through the leg on the bench. 1 more. Elongate the glutes. And stretch. Switch sides. So I start with my weight in front of my legs like this. And that makes me hinge. If you're here, it's easy to like start straight up and down and then lose the hinge. So the weight here, lean into the wall. And the leg that you're holding the weight is the one that goes down. 1. It's hard to talk and do this at the same time. 2. Weight into my heel. 3. Hips hinge back. Toe taps the floor. Push. 4. 5. 6. 7. 1 more. Big push. 8. All right, we're going to rest a minute and a half and then do that again. Okay, we're going to do our second set. If you have a side that feels easier than the other, you want to always start with the side that maybe needs a little bit more work, the side that feels a little less strong. That way you have the most energy going into that set with the side that needs the most attention. And also psychologically, it's better for your mind to end the set on a good note. So we're going to start up at the top. Your weight is in the opposite side of the leg that's working. The leg that's working stays up on the bench or the box or the chair or the stair, wherever you are. You can do these on stairs. So you can come up on like the second or third stair and then step backwards using the handrail as your support. 1, keeping all my weight in my heel that's on the bench. 2, hinge backwards, tap your toe, push. 3, brace your abs, hinge backwards. So having your hand supported is taking the balance out of it. If I go to do this without having something to hold on to, it's possible, watch, but there's way more balance involved, and that's okay. But just know that it's just a different variation. I'm going to do 2 more. Push. 1 more. And switch. Weight in front of me. Knee stays over my foot. I don't want my knee passing over my foot. If that happens, you're going to feel it more in your quad, and you're also going to maybe feel it more in your knees, and we don't want that. Hinge back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hinge back, tap the floor, push through your foot on the bench. 8. We're going to rest a minute and a half and then do our third set. I'm going to start with my left leg working. My left leg stays up on the bench. I'm going to lean in with my left hand, hinge my hips back, tap the floor, push through the foot on the bench. 1, hips back, tap, and push through that working leg. 2. I breathe in, brace my abs. Don't exhale till I'm at the top so that my lower back is protected. Keep my ribs in. Push. 4, 5, 6, 2 more. Breathe in, brace, hips hinge back, weight right by my heel, push. 7, 8, switch sides. 3. Ay, ay, ay. 4. Hinge back. Weight in your heel. Push. 5. Weight in your heel. Hinge back. Push. 6. 7. One more. 8. All right. Minute and a half, and we're going to do that one more time. So a different angle for our last set. The things that you really want to be careful with in this exercise is that you're not bouncing out of the floor, right? So I'm going to show you some examples of what not to do. We don't want to dump all your weight into your back foot and then push off of it to come up. The point of this exercise is to elongate the glutes on the leg that's on the bench and then push through the standing leg to come up. You don't want to use your back foot for more than balance here. It's a balance, and then push through the standing leg to come up. You also want to make sure you're hinging with your hips. So if this leg is the working leg now, you're hinging your hips back, and that entails that your knee is over your ankle. If I don't hinge back and I just step back and this happens, we don't want your knee to pass over your heel. So you want to have it backwards hinge with your hip. It elongates the glutes, and then push through that standing leg to come up. All right, last set. 1. Hip hinges back. Use the wall for balance. 2. I'm keeping my chin to my chest as well. I'm not looking up or too far down at my feet so that my head and neck stays in line with the rest of my spine. 5. 6. 2 more. 7. 1 more. 8. Switch sides. This is our last set. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 2 more. 7. All right, so our next move is unilateral Romanian deadlifts or Unilat RDLs. We're going to do ours in a B stance. So I'm going to start up against the wall, take one step forward, and then the leg that is free on my free side, I'm going to support into the wall just with my heel. Also, if you hear noises, Mexico City, so that's just a thing. I'm going to hold the weight in front of my body. All of my weight is on my right foot here. I'm going to hinge my hips back. My knees are bent slightly. When my hips touch the wall, I'm going to stand up and trace the weight back up. I hit the wall a little faster than I wanted to there, so I'm going to take a tiny bit of a step forward. Both of my knees are soft. Trace the weight down my leg. There's no space between the weight and my leg. My hips are hinged as far as I can hinge them at this point, and I'm going to stand up and pull. I'm going to go get my straps because this is heavy. All right, so maybe I'm gonna make a video or a short on how to use these straps because these help me lift what I can lift with my legs without my hands getting tired, because in general, your legs should probably be stronger than your grip. So if your grip is giving out before your legs get tired in RDLs, then these straps are a good way to go. They take a lot of the weight out of your hands and puts it in your wrists. So to start, right, little step forward, heel goes back onto the wall, knees soft, hips hinge backwards, backwards, backwards. The weight traces down my leg, and I stand up. That's one. Hips hinge back, chin to chest. Both of my knees stay bent. All my weight is in my front leg. It's all in the hips. Hinge back and push the floor away to stand up straight. I want my lat and my back to be really engaged so that I don't round, right? I want to be straight back, and I want my breath to brace my low back so that I don't arch my low back and I don't feel pain there. That's 6. We're going to do 8. Hips hinge back. I find the wall, feel the stretch in my glute, and stand up. 7. One more. The glute stretches as our hips hinge, and then you contract as you stand up. That's 8. Switch sides. This is 12 and a half kilos, which is like, what, 28 pounds or something like that. But feel free to use what you can. If you're able to do the whole rep range, which in this case is 8, without getting tired, then go up. It goes back, knee soft. My weight traces my leg, hips hinge back, and up. From this angle, it's easier to see that my glute is elongated here, and as I stand up, it contracts. Hip hinge back, chin to chest, push the floor away. 3. 4. Weight stays touching my legs, my hips hinge back, chin to chest. This is as far as I can go. I don't want to drop more with my upper body. Stand up. 2 more. Hinge. Push the floor away. Hips hinge, back, 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 chin to chest, and push the floor away. We're going to take our minute and a half, and we'll do set 2. All right, so I think this angle is legit for showing the RDL because you can see the hinge really well. So if you start up against the wall or whatever you're standing up against, take a step forward. The free side is going to be the B stance leg. So up on your toes, your foot and your heel is up against the wall. Both knees are soft to start. The weight is all the way up against my leg, chin to my chest. Push my hips back towards the back wall. That's as far as I can hinge back. I literally can't push my hips further. And then stand up, squeeze my pelvis under, and you'll feel the glute squeeze there. Your glute extends, elongates, and then up. So I'm going to like right underneath my kneecaps, no further than that. Because if you try to drop at all through your chest, you're going to feel it in your low back. Keeping my ribs in. If you let your ribs splay out, you get an arch in your back. That's really uncomfortable. 5. Hinge. Push. 6. Hinge. Push. 7. Keep my knee slightly bent. Trace the weight down. And up for 8. Other side. Step. B stance. I kind of put this hand behind my back because I don't know what to do with it. And it also helps to remind me, like, I can feel if I arch my back, which I don't want to do. You want to keep your pelvis really neutral. Knees slightly bent. Hip hinges back towards the back wall. The weight stays touching my leg the whole time, like I'm shaving my legs. 1. Hips hinge back. 2. You want to be careful not to straighten your leg all the way when you're doing this because then you feel it more in your hamstrings than your glutes. And the mantra of this one is hinge, not squat. Hinge, not squat. So this is what I don't want. I don't want you to squat like this. That's not it. You push your hips back. Weight stays in contact with your leg. 7. 1 more. Hip hinges back. My knee stays over a little bit, my ankle. And push. Step. Set up my B stance foot. If you don't want to put your foot on the wall at home, you can just leave your foot up like this and not be up against a wall. The wall just gives me a little bit of stability and sense of like how much space I have there. My knee is bent slightly over my ankle, and I want to maintain that, right? I don't want to push my leg back and go into a straight leg deadlift. So keep your knee slightly bent. Hip hinges back right under my knee and up. Chin to chest, weight in my front foot, and up. Hinge, not a squat. Hinge back. Weight stays in contact with my leg. Right under my kneecap. Push the floor away. That's 3. Abs really strong. My rib cage tucked in to keep my hips neutral. 4. Hips hinge back, chin to chest. 5. 6. I want you to super look for that stretch in the glute. You're going to feel it in your hamstring, but look for it in the glute too. 7. One more. Let's hinge back. That's all. And up. Switch sides. Oh, I wanted to use that 15 kilo, but I forgot, I guess. That's convenient. And up. Flex the phone that's over there in the corner of the room, over by the discs.
Yeah.
It's playing music. I'm not sure why it stopped. If you want to see what's going on. Hips back. Squeeze. Hips back. 5. 6. 7. One more. Hinge, 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 hinge. And push. 8. All right, let's take a rest and we're going to do that one more time. Chin to chest. Hinge back. Keep my knees slightly bent. Hinge, not squat. 1. 2. I'm also imagining that I have like a tennis ball or an orange or something tucked between my arm and my armpit that I don't want to let go of. That tension in my lats keeps my back from rounding, keeps my chest out, butt out is a cue in this one. 4. Weight stays really close to your leg. Stand, push your hips forward. 5. Hips hinge back. 6. 7. Hinge back, knees bent. Push your hips. And push your heel into the floor. 8. Switch sides. This is our last set of these, and then we're going to move on. If you're new here, you might be wondering why we rest so long between sets. And if you're working hard with weightlifting, you should need that much time recovery. If you're not recovering, if you don't need that much recovery time, it's one sign that you could do the thing heavier. Short recovery times are more for cardio, conditioning routines. But if you're lifting weights, trying to get stronger, trying to build mass or muscle size. Don't get scared of that, ladies, but we want our butts bigger. We want our legs bigger. That's muscle mass. In order to do that, you have to lift heavy. And in order to lift heavy, you have to rest. So 1.5 to 2 minutes between your sets. 5, 6. I'm starting to get tired. Chin to chest. Knees slightly bent. Hips hinge back. 2 more. Push. 7. Really strong in my abs. And 8. All right. Put your weights up. Rest. And we're going to do the next exercise. For our next exercise, we need a bench or a couch or a chair, something that's pushed up against the wall so that it's not going to slide when you do the exercise. If you don't have that option, you can just weight it down with something, like put your dumbbells that you're not using on it, or I don't know, whatever you have heavy laying around. So we're going to set this up like a hip thrust. So I want the positioning on the bench to be right underneath my shoulder blades. I don't want you to be so far down here that you feel like once you hinge back that you're going to slide off the bench. You want to be really supported. And from this 2-foot stance, you're going to push up and feel that from this position, my feet are right underneath my knees and that I can tuck my chin, perform a 2-legged hip thrust from this position without my head and my neck moving, right? So I don't want your head and your neck following. Everything stays still, looking forward from here. Now that I'm here, my feet are under my knees, I'm going to take one leg and lift it up. My arms, I don't really know what to do with my hands. I just kind of keep them here, kind of prayer position. I'm going to hinge back and push up through the glute on the leg that's staying on the floor. To get a little bit more glute activation, I lift my toes off the floor on the leg that stays down. Hinge back, push up. Hinge back, push up. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to do 8 on each side. Hinge back, push up. I don't want your elbows on the bench. I want the stability to be all through your back and your foot. Up 3. This leg stays still. Up 4 so that it doesn't touch the floor. Up 5, head and neck stay still. 6, big squeeze through the glute. 7, one more. Big squeeze through the glute. And up. Alrighty, switch sides. Go ahead and get comfortable on 2 legs again. I'm going to move my neck around because it's not the most comfortable, but it's better than letting your head flail around. All 4s. Up onto my heel. Lift my toes up. Lift this leg up. Hinge back and squeeze. Hinge back and squeeze 2. Hinge. Squeeze 3. Hinge. Squeeze 4. 5. I hinge back towards the bench and push. 6. 7. One more. Hinge back and push up. 8. We're going to rest a 1.5 minutes and then we're going to do that again. So you might be saying to yourself, hey Cass, that was hard with body weight, but how do I make this harder? I'm going to show you. So if the technique is there, doing this body weight should be difficult, but I understand the want to add some weight to it. So this is only 15 pounds that I'm adding. There's two ways that I've found that are comfortable doing this. So same setup, feeling good underneath my rib cage with the bench so that my head and my chin will stay still, and feeling good at this full extend of my hips, right? I'm going to come up onto my heel on the leg that I'm going to work. This leg comes up and I'm going to keep the weight like this. I'm going to hinge backwards and push. Hinge backwards and push. So the angle that I'm holding the dumbbell kind of shifts a little bit. As I come down, my elbow comes closer to my body. And then as I push up, it's kind of like when you do it with a barbell and how your arm extends at the top because the space is greater. Let's call this 5. Head and chin really still. Push back. 6, 7, 8. All right, I'll switch sides. I'm going to wait there. Get comfortable on all fours. Lift this leg up. Actually, I'm going to bring my toes up first. Then lift this leg up. Hinge back. Push and squeeze. Hinge back. The glutes elongate. Up. Squeeze. Contraction. 3. If you feel like you're slipping on your bench or on your couch or wherever you are, there's nothing wrong with stopping and readjusting. 5, 6. So it's all in the hips, right? That's the theme of this workout. One more. There's nothing happening with my head, my neck, my shoulders. All right. So I'm going to take this rest moment as a chance to show you what we don't want. We don't want your legs too far forward. If your legs are too far forward in this, you're going to feel it more in your hamstrings than anything, right? So if I'm doing this, it's way more of a hamstring, but we want it in our booty. That's what she said. If your leg is too close to you, you're going to feel it in your quad. It's my quad that's getting longer and contracting more than the glute there, right? So that's why we get set up on all fours. Make sure that feels good with our toes up and on our heels. Secondly, I don't want our heads involved. We want your sight forward and still, and the hinge is happening with your hips around the bench, not your whole torso. So those are our what not to do's. Set up on all fours. I've got the bench underneath my blades, and I'm holding the microphone like this because I don't want my t-shirt to be involved in sound quality. So I set up on all fours, lift my toes up on the working leg, and then lift that leg up, hinge backwards, up, squeeze. 2, 3, 4, head still, 5, 6, keeping my ribs in, 7, one more, 8, switch sides, get comfortable on all fours, on the working leg, my toes come up, hinge back, and up. I guess technically you can have this here if it's helpful, but I want all of your weight, most of your body weight, to be on your shoulder blades and in your heel and not in that arm there. So if you need it to find your balance, that's fine, but don't keep it there. I lost my count as I do. That's 7. Let's call it one more. Please. All right, I think that was our third set. We got one more, and then we'll move on. Full extension of the hips, knees over my feet. I'm going to do my left leg first. So I'm going to get up on my heel with that left leg, lift up the free leg, hips go down and back, up, squeeze 1, 2, 3. I'm taking a full second at the top. This is the concentric, squeeze isometric, relax eccentric. So I'm having an intentional each phase up, squeeze, and down, up, squeeze, and down. 2 more. Up for the concentric, squeeze isometric, down eccentric. 1 more, up, squeeze, and down. That intention of each of the 3 phases of the exercise really makes sure that you get every drop out of the exercise. If you're rushing, if you're bouncing through the exercise, if you're not taking a moment of stillness in this full stretch or a moment of stillness in this full contraction, you're cutting yourself short. 5, down, up, squeeze, still, down, still. 2 more. 7 and 8. All right, let's take a rest and then we'll do another exercise. Lastly, we have our dumbbell sumo squat. We're going to set up with our feet wider than our hips apart with this grip. I've got an underhand grip on the dumbbell, and then my second hand comes around the first hand to make sure that I have an even weight distribution between my 2 hands. Feet wider than hips width apart, and then I'm going to bend over, my hips go back and down, and my knees relatively stay over my feet. I don't want to let my chest drop, more so focusing on bending back at the hips, that hinge, and then bending at my knees secondly. The weight is going to drop straight down in between my feet, not further forward, so that the center of gravity is in my glutes and not in my lower back. Keep your abs really braced, and there are 10 reps here. I've got my chin tucked into my chest so that my head and neck stay in line with the rest of my spine, and my back is super straight. Breathe, brace through your abs, drop your hips, weight drops in between your feet, and then exhale on the way up. This is our second set out of 4. Underhand grip, and then the second hand comes underneath to support. I've got my weight kind of tilted down, my chin tucked into my chest. And in this squat, I'm not dropping down more than 90 degrees. As soon as my hips can't push back anymore, that's the end of the squat. Sometimes when people drop down too far, their hips roll underneath, and then you feel it in your low back. So to avoid feeling this in your low back, you're going to keep your abs really braced and make sure you're not dropping down more than 90 degrees, not dropping down further than your hips can push back. The weight is dropping right in between my feet. Inhale on the way down, hold, and then exhale on the way up. We've got 10 reps here and then another 1.5-minute break into the third set. Into our third set of dumbbell sumo squats. I'm going to turn a little bit on an angle here so that you can see what's happening with my knees. So you don't want your knees to push outwards, and my knees and my toes are still pointed forwards. Everything is square towards the front plane. So my toes, my knees, my hips, everything square forward. I don't want my knees to bow open or fall inwards. I'm keeping my pinky toes pushed into the floor, my breath really braced. I breathe in, I go down 90 degrees, and then exhale on the way up. 10 reps here, chin to chest, and then we're going to go into our last set. All right, this is our fourth and final set of dumbbell sumo squats. Again, just as reminders, we've got our feet wider than hips width apart, but not so wide that your knees ballerina plie out. You're going to keep a leaned over position, so the elongation of the muscle here is in the glute, and when you stand up, you're squeezing, rolling your pelvis underneath, keeping my chin to my chest, my back super straight. Breathe in on the way down, hold, and exhale on the way up. Pinky toes pushing into the floor, keeping my arms completely extended. My hands are just hooks in this situation, and bracing my abs with my breath. After the set, we're going to rest a little bit and go into our last exercise. Okay, so our last exercise is a squat up and down. I'm going to explain it as you also do it because my legs are feeling a little bit fried at this moment, and I am not trying to do 5 more reps than you guys, so do it with me. I've got a mat here, so it's going to be intense on your knees if you don't. I'm starting in a kneeling position, and this is for time. So we are going to do 45 seconds of work for a minute of rest, and this is our burnout. So the rest is a little bit less, and as the name implies, this is going to burn. We're wringing out our muscles. We're using what's left in our legs, and we're going to start in 15 seconds. So this is similar to a plank up down. You'll see why in a second, and we'll be slow and intentional about this. We're going to start with our hands out in front, and we're going to go up with our left leg first, replacing your foot where your knee was, and then into a low squat. Same leg that went up first goes down first, and then we switch sides. Right leg first, left leg, right leg down first, left. Now I go left, right, moment of stillness, left, right, right, left, get low, right, left. It's been 27 seconds. Left, right, get low, left, right, for the way down. Other side, right, left, get low, right, left, one more, left, right, left, right. We're going to wait a minute, and then we're going to do that again. 4 sets. We're going to cool down after this. Your hip flexors should be feeling it. We've done a lot of hinging for this exercise or for this workout, so feel free to stick around and stretch with me so that you feel less sore in the days to come. I have a client who asked me to do this type of work specifically to work on hip mobility and sitting low in a squat, and so that's what this is addressing. All right, we are going to go again in 10 seconds. So get up into your kneeling position. We're going to go left leg first, and then right. In 3, 2, 1. Set number 2. Left, right, moment of stillness. Left, right, right, left, right, left. This mat is keeping me humble. I have to pick my leg up and get into that squat. I don't want you to drag your legs. Right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right. We've got 15 seconds left. Right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right. Moment of rest, more than a moment, 1 minute. Totally feel those in my hip flexors. Looking forward to stretching this one out. Our split for this block goes chest, shoulders, triceps, booty, hamstring, back, bicep, quads. So this was our second day out of 4 in the split. And day 3 is going to be back in bicep. We've got 20 seconds more of rest. We're going to do set number 3 of 4. Got 4 in total. And then we're going to stretch out. Go ahead and get set up. 10 more seconds of rest. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Left, right, left, right, right, low, right, left, left, right. Get low. Open those hips up. Left, right, right, left. Open those hips up. Right, left. We've done 25 seconds. We've done 30. We've got 15 left. Right, left, get low. Right, left. One more. Left, right, get low. Left, right. We've got 1 more minute left of rest. Last set, and then we're going to stretch. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this workout. Let me know if there's something that you'd like to see more of. Let me know if there's something that you hated. Give me a subscribe if you haven't yet. What else? Just say hi in the comments. It's cool to feel like I'm not talking to myself. Oh, my legs hurt. We've got 10 more seconds of rest. We've got 1 more of these. Last one. All right, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Left, right, get low, push your knees open. Whoops, sorry. Left, and then right. Right, left, open up. Right, left, left, right, open up. Left, right. Got 15 seconds. Left, right, open up, get low. Left, right. Last one. Right, left, get low. Right, and left. That's it. Oh my God. Go ahead and sit down. We are going to straighten our legs out in front of us. This cool down is probably going to take 3 or 4 minutes. So stick around with me, please. Both legs in front of us. We're going to sit up as straight as possible. Just shake out your legs. Shake out your hip flexors. Get your breath back down to normal. And we're going to put our hands up in the air. Breathe in. Find some distance. Breathe out and lean as far forward as you can, keeping your legs straight and your back straight. I don't want you to get all rounded here. If all you have is this, super. If all you have is this, super. This posture is better than this. And you're getting the same quality stretch. Think about pushing your hips backwards, your feet flexed, so your toes pointing up and towards you. And you really are going to feel this all the way from the bottom of your calf up into your hamstring. 10, 9, 8. Breathing in, getting distance. Breathing out, applying that distance with a straight back. 3, 2, 1. We're going to take our left leg, figure 4 in, right leg goes outwards. Same thing, hands go up, breathe in, get distance. Breathe out, apply that distance with a straight back. So this is all I've got. My hands come down, I keep my back straight, my head up, my chest pointing out, my hips pointing backwards. And we're going to hold this for 10, 9, 8, leg as straight as possible. We're also stretching with compassion and not our egos, right? We don't want to get all ugly and come forward and lose the stretch. 3, 2, 1. Figure 4, the other leg out. Hands up, breathe in, breathe out. over your straight leg, keeping your leg straight, your toe flexed up and towards you. If all you have is right here, awesome. But keep your back straight, your hips pushing backwards. If you can get to your ankle or to the bottom of your foot, awesome. And if you want and can, rotate outwards a little bit. I'm sorry, inwards, I guess it would be, so that your chest opens up and you get more of a stretch on the side body. That's cool too. If you don't have that, just stay straight. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Bring our feet into a butterfly position. And instead of, put this mic down, instead of leaning over your feet like this, I want you to put your feet or your hands behind your hips, push yourself in so that your hips get closer to your heels, and then push your knees down from there with a straight back. This is just as quality of a stretch as like this in this kind of weird Quasimodo posture. So hands behind your hips, push your pelvis in towards your heels, and then push your knees down with a super straight back. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I was not doing this. Like, this isn't doing anything. You want to push down and hold the stretch and really stretch. You don't want to be bouncing in and out. We're going to come forward again. Bring your toes in towards your face. Get some distance. Exhale, forward, straight back. And again, just this forward fold as far as you can. And we're going to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want us to come up into a lunge position. So I'm going to have my right knee under my hip, my right foot forward, right underneath my knee. And then I'm going to push forward to open up my hip flexor, push my knee forward. I feel this through my hip, and also my hip on the back side is opening up a lot through my hip and down my quad. And then I'm going to push backwards. I'm going to sit on my heel and pull my toe in towards me, and I'm going to feel that again all the way through my back leg. The back of my front leg, excuse me. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. You're going to go forward, push your knee forward again. Feel the big stretch through the hip on the back leg, and also you'll feel a good pinch through the hip flexor on the front leg. And then last time, sit back onto your back heel, bring your front toe back, flex your foot, and then you'll feel the stretch all the way down from the bottom of your calf up into your hamstring. We're going to switch sides of our body. So now our right leg comes forward directly under our knee. And you're going to push forward, getting a big stretch, big open through the front of your left leg. Nice pinch through the hip of my right leg. And then I'm going to sit back onto my left foot, flex my foot on my right side, and get a big stretch through my calf and my hamstring. We're going to hold that. If you need help, hold on to something, the floor, whatever, your couch, your dog. Forward, push your knee, open up this hip flexor, and then back. Flex your foot, sit back onto your heel. If you need to hold on to something, feel free. We're going to hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With your hands helping to standing, forward fold. Hold your hands straight down. Get a big stretch through the back of your body. Hold on to your opposite elbows. We're going to hang out here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to stand up slowly with your head and neck coming up last. And that is the end of our routine. Let me know what you thought about it. Thanks for making it all the way to the end with me. And let me know what you'd like to see more of. Look forward to working out with you soon. Bye.